Hello, my name is Bernadette and welcome to my channel, and today I would like to talk to you about the feeling of feeling uprooted and never have the feeling to belong somewhere, and what you can do about it and what I did about it and what brought me after 63 stages and different stops in my life finally to a place that I can call home, where I have wonderful neighbors and I have a breathtaking view and I have rolling hills and rivers and mountains and woods where I feel just where I can just breathe and be myself and feel safe and loved and surrounded by people who appreciate me and who I can appreciate back. So this feeling of feeling uprooted, to go from place to place, and it's also called, I think in modern psychology, it's called destination addiction, right? If you just feeling the urge to just go from one place to the other. And like I said, I have been through it. It was not only about cities or different countries or different countryside or cities or different foreign lands. It was also about crazy roommates and annoying landlords and noise and just feeling disturbed and never having the possibility to really relax my nervous system and really regenerate. And any kind of development, if it is personal development or professional development, you need this home base to actually function, right? Even if you like to travel, you need a home base, you need a place to just relax and let your hair down and feel yourself. So this was a very exhausting, can be a very exhausting journey, because you don't find the root of it, no pun intended. You don't understand why it's never clicking, why you don't find the place if you're looking for it. So there is something interesting, and of course, if you haven't lived under a rock, you have heard about manifestation and the different techniques and so on. And I want to talk to you today about how my journey went to find this place of, literally, I have breathtaking views and I have rolling hills and fresh rivers and I walk in the woods, and it's just it's so idyllic that it seems it can't be real. But I promise you, I am your proof wherever you are at. And if you think it's catastrophic and you will never get there, I am your proof that you can get there. So I lived somewhere where literally any factor, my neighbors, the village where I was living, the landscape, nothing really was in alignment with myself, right? The neighbors were loud and nobody really liked me in this village, and I lived in the valley that was too narrow, and I always had the feeling that the mountains are right into my face and I couldn't breathe, and there were so many tourists at any season in summer and people everywhere, and it was just like a peak of anything, the opposite of what I was longing to experience in this lifetime, right? So, and I stumbled over this YouTube videos from Abraham Hicks and Neville, and you can Google it, manifestation, right? And you will find a lot of beautiful videos that will explain in different ways and different techniques to manifest. And I will talk to you today about what I did, right? So I lived in this more or less really beautiful apartment, overpriced, but nice views, and it was so noisy. There was a bar downstairs, and the 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 girl who lived just the floor beneath me, she didn't like me. She couldn't stand me, and she was so loud. I couldn't understand. She was like trampling through her apartment, and I thought she was trampling over my head. And I got so triggered that I could literally physically feel my hair standing up anytime I heard her making a noise. And so you can use these triggers. You can use these triggers to actually use them for your advantage. Because every time, come here, Schubsi, come here. That's my dog. He's also part of my lovely home. This is Schubs. And I hope you will not make a lot of too many squeaky noises so that we are not triggered by any noise, right? So these triggers of noise, or you cross path with your neighbors in the same apartment building, and it always gives you a little bit electrical shock, right? So you can use these triggers actually for your advantage. Every single time you feel this resistance in you and this uncomfortable wave of emotion, this frustration rising up in you, you sit down, you close your eyes, and you imagine your dream place of living. How it feels. Like you have this beautiful garden. I have a beautiful garden right now. You have this beautiful garden, or you live in a vibrant city, and when you step out of your house, there's all these little cafes and nice shops, and you chat with your neighbors, or like I love to have this peaceful, full serenity around me, right? And you just dive into this stream of images and of feelings that come up when you fantasize in this dream place of living, this warmth and fuzziness about it. And it is crazy, because you think to yourself, I don't have enough money, and I don't have enough money to move, and I'm stuck because of my mom is sick, or I have 2 kids, and I'm a single mom, and I don't have the funds, and all these arguments and factors that kind of put the brakes into this dream of yours, into this wish and desire of yours. You just leave them aside. You just bask in this feeling of feeling so comfortable, and these images that come up, and they will come up more and more, right? And you, if you need a gateway, right, to this feeling, you can think of your childhood when you have been at your grandmother's place, and she was baking you cookies, and she was like taking care of you, or she was like stroking your head softly, and you remember, you just pick up, you pull up these memories of this wonderful feeling of feeling safe and just relaxed. And maybe you had a very horrible childhood, and you moved from place to place, and you felt very unsafe all your childhood. Then think about a movie. A movie that gave you this fuzzy feeling. And you just remember in your head, you go through this wonderful house, because maybe there's a house that you particularly liked in the movie, and you see yourself sitting on the couch and chatting with your friends, and then laying down in your comfortable bed, and just let your imagination drive you and drive you forward. Or maybe what I like to do also is, there are these YouTube videos of real estate, right? And you have this beautiful classical music in the background that is really calming. And so you sit down for 15 minutes a day and you just watch this beautiful landscapes and these beautiful houses that give you this fuzzy and warm feeling inside. And don't watch it with kind of this feeling of, oh my god, I will never get this, and I'm not rich enough, and I don't have. You have to let completely loose and just bask in it. And the other advantage of doing this is, whilst you're doing it, you already relax and your nervous system calms down, and you just feel more. Put your headphones in. If your neighbors are noisy, put your headphones in and just listen to some relaxing music or some meditative music, and just let your imagination go wild, and just imagine all this wonderful surrounding. Imagine the situations like you go out in the garden and you pick some fruits from your fruit trees, or some flowers, so you arrange them to a bouquet, or you're hosting a garden party, or you're having your lover over, you're sitting in front of the fireplace and you're eating some cheese and you're having a wonderful glass of red wine. So whatever it is, whatever makes you feel good. Maybe it needs some time, right? But I can promise you, the more often you give yourself the permission to think about it, to feel it, to bask in this feeling of comfort and relaxation and beautiful items surrounding you, right? The more this feeling gathers space in your inner emotional landscape. So, from the moment I lived in this village with these people who didn't like me, and the landscape I didn't like, and the neighbor who was nasty, and the rent was overpriced, right? Okay, it needed a few months, it needed a year and a half, or maybe even 2 years. And there were some stages in between where I wanted to move to Corsica because I thought it's a dream place for me, and it didn't turn out right, and I had to pack my things again, and I was exhausted. But I am your proof. I am your proof that if you hold the vision, and it's not only a vision, I invented a word. It's not visualizing, it's emotionalizing. If you're emotionalizing, if you fill this basket with these feelings and these images, if you hold these emotions long enough, there is no way around that life will not give you what you want. It's the law of attraction. It is. And I'm a proof of it. I am your proof of 63 different places of being exhausted and desperate, and there is no logical sense because I'm a nice, respectful person, and I was surrounded by roommates who listened to death metal on a Sunday morning, and neighbors, and one time I lived in an apartment, and downstairs was a taxi stand, and in winter winter and summer they always let the engine running, so there was this noise of engines and the 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 bad air and so on, right? So it was always something. There was always something like a thorn in my foot, right? There was always something so annoying and so triggering. 63 stages, 63 moves. And I'm here now in paradise. And in one of my videos, I will show you. I will show you this paradise where I live. It's not even real. I live in an area in Europe where there is no drought, where there is no lack of water, where there is no natural disasters. It's vital and fresh, and people are relaxed, and it's just a dream come true. And if I, after 63 stations, after 63 stops, if I can arrive somewhere where I literally can relax and can develop and can feel home and safe and appreciated, you can too. And my rent is actually, I've never paid. I have a house for myself with 2 rooms, 1 living room, and literally a garden and expansive views, and I've never paid that less of rent. Never ever. Wherever I lived. I pay 480 euros for a house of 220 square meters and the garden of 1,000 square meters. And it is possible. I tell you that you have to hold your vision and hold your emotions as long as it's needed, and you will get there. So I encourage you to daydream before you go to sleep, in the morning when you wake up, when you clean the house, whenever you can. Just go there. Go to your home and it will manifest. It's a promise. So if you feel a little bit lost, again, no pun intended, and you want some assistance, please feel free to contact me in the contact form below for a discovery call, and I would be delighted to guide you through it in depth and help you over the hurdles, and subscribe, share, and like my videos. And I love to see you soon, and maybe I will show you where I live and the paradise where I am delighted to spend my days. So have a beautiful day and daydream. Give yourself the permission to daydream. Have a beautiful day and see you soon.